Versailles looks effortless when you enter through the staterooms. Gold catches the light, mirrors multiply the space, and every surface appears controlled. But that perfection only exists because someone has already been working for hours. For this survival test, you are not playing one precisely documented job. You are stepping into a historically grounded composite of lower-ranking service tasks performed by the many workers who kept Louis XIV court functioning. The year is around 1690. The court has settled permanently at Versailles, and the Grand Commun beside the palace has become a working engine of kitchens, offices, dining rooms, storage, and crowded accommodation. Your day begins before dawn on an upper floor, where ceilings are lower and rooms are tighter than the grand apartments below. There is no private suite, no soft silence, and no reason for the palace to wait for you. A stub of candle reveals your clothes, your shoes, and the first problem: your body has not recovered from yesterday. The shift ahead may continue until after the king's public bedtime ceremony. You dress quickly in practical wool and linen. Fine court clothing belongs to the people being served. Your own garments must survive soot, grease, spilled water, stairs, and hours of repeated lifting. The route down is already crowded. Servants, kitchen workers, messengers, and officers move through separate layers of hierarchy, each person trying to reach the correct place before the next order arrives. The Grand Commune had its own courtyard fountain. Water is available, but that does not make it light. Every bucket becomes a test of grip, balance, and patience on cold stone. A small spill is not harmless. Water on a stair can send you down with the bucket, injure the person behind you, or delay work in a kitchen that is already measuring time against the king's schedule. You learn the first survival rule: never carry more than you can control. The palace rewards speed, but a worker who falls, breaks a vessel, or blocks a passage becomes a problem for everyone. At ground level, the kitchens are waking. The vaulted rooms are built for production, not comfort. Stone, iron, timber, copper, heat, steam, smoke, knives, and heavy vessels turn breakfast preparation into industrial labor. The fire must be useful, not dramatic. Too low, and food is late. Too high, and pots scorch, handles burn, and the room becomes harder to work in. Someone must feed the hearth while watching everything around it. You move split wood closer to the fire and feel the temperature change across a few steps. Your back is still cold from the courtyard, but your face and hands are now exposed to dry heat and sparks. Copper pots are excellent tools and unforgiving weights. A vessel does not need to be enormous to strain the wrist when it is hot, wet, awkward, and carried repeatedly across a crowded floor. Bread, linen, utensils, and prepared dishes all travel through controlled sequences. Versailles is not one household. It is a dense court of thousands, and food service operates through specialized offices and ranks. The Grand Commune prepared food for many people attached to the court, while the king's and queen's tables were handled inside the palace for security. Even meals reveal the architecture of power. Your second survival rule is social. Know who outranks you, which doorway belongs to which service, and when silence is safer than explanation. At Versailles, location and timing can matter as much as strength. Louis XIV Day is timed so precisely that officers can plan around it. The king's routine becomes the master clock for hundreds of people who may never speak to him. By about 8:30, the formal getting up ceremony begins. Before the curtains around the royal bed are opened, servants have already prepared clothing, rooms, messages, fires, water, and access for the people permitted to enter. You are nowhere near the center of that ceremony, but its pressure travels outward. A missing cloth or delayed delivery can move from one servant to an officer, and from an officer toward a room where mistakes are visible. Carrying folded linen seems safer than carrying boiling liquid. It is not effortless. The load must remain clean, dry, correctly ordered, and protected from walls, shoes, food, wax, and crowded shoulders. At a controlled doorway, you wait. Rank determines who enters, who stands, who sits, who speaks, and who remains outside. The most exhausting part of service can be holding position while your muscles tighten. A messenger emerges with a new instruction. You turn immediately, but not carelessly. Running through a palace full of people, furniture, thresholds, and sharp turns is a faster way to fail than moving with disciplined urgency. The service stairs are the hidden geography of Versailles. They connect luxury to labor, but they also compress traffic. One person with a basket can stop 3 others carrying something hotter or heavier. From a window, the palace looks calm. Inside, every room is preparing for the king's next movement. Chapel, council, meal, walk, hunt, entertainment, or supper. Your work changes because his schedule changes. At 10, the king crosses the state apartments toward mass. Courtiers gather for a glimpse or a chance to pass a note. Behind that public movement, workers keep routes clear and supplies moving without becoming part of the spectacle. You pass beneath painted ceilings carrying an ordinary object that cannot be dropped. The contrast is cruelly simple. The room is designed to make power look permanent, while your arms are beginning to shake. By late morning, heat and repetition replace the cold. You return to the working rooms, where a scraped board, a wet floor, or a misplaced handle can cause an accident long before anyone reaches a royal table. Food service is not one dramatic procession. It is preparation, testing, covering, carrying, waiting, replacing, and clearing. Each step must happen in the correct order, often under the eyes of people whose status is higher than yours. Security matters. Dishes for the royal table pass through formal controls and tasting procedures. Guards and officers are not decoration. They are part of a system built around access to the king. You are assigned to help move a loaded tray toward a service point. The weight sits above your hands, forcing your shoulders upward. You must see the floor, avoid the doorway, and keep the arrangement stable at the same time. A modern person might try to change grip whenever the muscles hurt. Here, changing grip at the wrong moment can tilt the tray. You have to plan the next 10 steps before the pain becomes urgent. The corridor narrows. Someone higher in rank approaches from the opposite direction. You cannot demand space. You shift, hold the weight close, and wait while the tray grows heavier by the second. Nothing breaks. That counts as success. At Versailles, survival is often a chain of invisible non-events. The bucket did not spill, the flame did not catch, the plate did not fall, and the order arrived on time. Your meal, when it comes, is not a banquet. Workers at court occupy different positions and receive different provisions. But a low-ranking shift does not pause simply because your body wants food. You eat quickly in a working space, careful not to soil clothing or lose track of the next instruction. Rest is measured in moments, not in comfort. Depending on the day, Versailles could hold between 3,000 and 10,000 people. Nobles, officers, clergy, guards, specialists, petitioners, and workers formed a moving society governed by rank. The king's household alone grew into thousands of listed offices and servants. This is why one worker can feel both essential and replaceable. The machine needs labor, but it does not need to notice every laborer. In the afternoon, the king may walk, hunt, or remain indoors. Each choice changes the flow of horses, clothing, food, messages, lighting, doors, and waiting rooms. A sudden instruction sends you across an exterior court. The winter air cools sweat against your back. Wet soles meet stone, and the body that was overheated minutes ago now has to stay balanced in the cold. The task is not heroic. It may be a bundle of cloth, a covered vessel, a message, or a tool. Survival depends on treating small objects as parts of a larger system. Back inside, wax and lighting supplies are prepared for evening. Candles create beauty for the court, but for workers they mean dripping wax, open flame, unstable holders, smoke, and another sequence that cannot be delayed. Contrary to the modern image, the Hall of Mirrors was not filled with thousands of candles every night. That spectacular lighting belonged to rare grand celebrations. Ordinary service was less theatrical and still exhausting. You trim a wick and protect the flame from a draft. Too much wick produces smoke. Too little gives weak light. A tiny adjustment affects what an entire room can see. By early evening, fatigue changes your judgment. The floor seems less level, the handle less secure, and the stairs slightly steeper. This is when routine work becomes most dangerous. Your third survival rule is to slow down before your body forces you to. The court punishes delay, but exhaustion punishes reckless speed more severely. At 10 at night, the Grand Couvert begins. Louis XIV eats publicly with members of the royal family, while a large audience watches in formal silence. The room must be arranged before the king arrives. Furniture, linen, vessels, lights, and serving positions follow rules. Nothing is casual, even when the object seems ordinary. The royal meal arrives through a guarded and organized service. Dishes are carried, presented, tested, and replaced in successive courses. The distance from kitchen to table is also a chain of responsibility. You wait near the edge of the system, close enough to respond and far enough not to intrude. The body wants to shift weight, stretch the back, or wipe the face. Etiquette tells you to remain controlled. Around 100 people might witness the public supper. The silence increases the pressure because a scrape, a dropped utensil, or a confused movement has nowhere to hide. Wine and water must appear when called for. Plates and cutlery are changed. Serving officers perform exact gestures while guards, courtiers, and attendants watch the ritual unfold. You begin to understand that Versailles uses labor twice. First to deliver food, heat, light, and order, then to make that labor disappear behind ceremony. The king eats. You stand. The audience watches. The people who carried, heated, cleaned, tested, and arranged the meal remain part of the background unless something goes wrong. Near 11:30, the public going to bed ceremony reverses the morning ritual. Courtiers crowd the king's chamber, selected officers perform their duties, and the palace appears to be closing. For you, closing is another phase of work. The royal family may retire, but plates still exist, wax still drips, fires still hold heat, floors still carry dirt, and tomorrow has already begun demanding preparation. The first loads return through service passages. Empty dishes are lighter, but grease makes them harder to grip. A broken plate now would erase the success of the entire evening. You scrape, sort, rinse, carry, and stack. There is no modern sink, no rubber glove, and no machine waiting to finish the work. Heat and cold alternate across your hands. Ash must be managed carefully. A hearth that looks quiet may still hide live coals. Leave too much fire and you risk damage. Kill it too early and the next shift begins without heat. Candle stubs and wax are collected. A servant's eye is trained to see what the court leaves behind. Soot above a flame, grease on a cloth, moisture on stone, a loose handle, a chipped edge. Your hands now show the day without any dramatic wound. Red skin, stiffness, tiny burns, damp cuffs, and a grip that is no longer reliable are enough to threaten the final climb. The staircase to the upper rooms is quieter, but not easier. Fatigue narrows attention. You hold the rail, lift each foot deliberately, and avoid the patch of stone that was wet before dawn. Social survival continues even now. You do not enter a better room because it is empty. You do not take a chair reserved for someone above you. You do not confuse exhaustion with permission. The best apartments in the Grand Commune belong to people of higher status. The upper levels, altered and divided over time, became progressively more cramped. Even sleep was organized by hierarchy. You reach the room where the day began. The candle is shorter, the air is stale, and your clothing carries the smells of smoke, food, wax, damp stone, and human effort. Would this day kill a healthy modern visitor? Probably not by itself. But the challenge is not one spectacular danger. It is the accumulation of heat, weight, poor rest, unstable footing, open flame, rigid timing, and social pressure. A single mistake could mean injury, humiliation, loss of position, or punishment from a superior. The exact consequence would depend on your office, rank, employer, and the seriousness of the failure. To improve your odds, you would need practical habits. Carry less. Watch the floor, protect your hands, learn the passages, copy experienced workers, eat when possible, and never ignore the next step in the schedule. You would also need to read people. At Versailles, the safest route is not always the shortest. The correct person, doorway, gesture, and moment may matter more than raw speed. Most modern advantages disappear here. There is no ergonomic equipment, regulated shift, instant medical care, electric light, or private recovery space. Your body is the machine, and the palace expects it to work again tomorrow. The gold of Versailles is real. So is the labor beneath it. Every polished floor, arranged table, controlled doorway, warm room, and public ceremony depends on people whose names rarely enter the story. You made it through one composite day without dropping the tray, slipping on the stairs, mishandling the fire, or breaking the rules. But survival at court is not measured once. At dawn, the fountain will still be there. The hearth will need fuel. The linen will need moving. The king's clock will begin again. Would you return for another day?